What is going on, 49ers fans? Actually, there's a lot going on. And, I opened up that question. My name is John Chapman, host of the 49ers Rush podcast, as always. And I wanted to jump in. And again, I want to make this very, very clear. My own personal take is that Deebo Samuel will still not be traded because the 49ers control it unless, as they have said as well, they receive a king's ransom. So what I'm going to do over the next couple of days leading up to the NFL draft is jump into as many scenarios as possible to see the concrete evidence of what those Kings ransoms will look like from different teams. I think there's several teams that want Deebo. I think there's several teams the 49ers would be willing to trade Deebo to if they're willing to pay up. So what I want to do today is jump into the Jets, because whenever we look at, okay, the 10th pick, okay, the 38th pick, well, what the hell does that mean? And I think whenever we jump in and do these mock drafts or, whatever else, it brings more reality to the situation. And that I want to get a real feel, because what does a first round pick mean and a second round pick mean, right? What are the standard or type of players that you can get in those situations? And what will that look like for the team moving forward? And again, it doesn't matter if you're in the, Deebo's got to go, or if you're in the Deebo, do whatever you can to keep him. Doesn't really matter. We are going to try to cover all the bases. So this isn't so much of I think he's going to be traded again. I don't think that he will be. But as things keep going, the party in LA video, if you haven't seen that, you can head to my Twitter at JL_Chapman, where, they basically blasted him on loudspeaker with the plaque. Deebo's going to return to the 49ers, and he gave the sign. Now, again, mass interpretations of that, whether that means, he wants to stop the announcement, or if he wants to not go back to the 49ers. Regardless, don't really care about that. I want to jump in and let's talk about this. Okay, so let's go. We're going to do a mock draft on Pro Football Focus. And here we go. We're going to enter the draft. And what we're going to do at the start, we're going to do a trade with the Jets. Okay. So we have rumored, again, these are all rumors, that they are okay offering the 10th pick, which makes sense if you look at what they offered for the Tyreek Hill trade and lost. They offered 35, 38, 69, which if you add those up on the Jimmy Johnson trade chart, they equal about the 10th pick. So the idea of offering the 10th pick for Deebo is equivalent to what they were offering for Tyreek Hill. However, I am of the take that's not enough for me. It is a starting point for sure, and it's not a bad haul. It's not a bad trade. It's not bad anything. So like I again, I'm with you, Nick. He puts out there, I want more than 10. I do. Here's what I want. I want 10. I want 38. I'm clicking on my screen, not the actual screen share. 38, and I want next year's third. That is the package that I want if I'm the 49ers. Now, for the Jets to do this, we might have to throw in, pick, a fourth or next year's fourth or something along those lines. And I'm okay with that, whether, they want a fifth or a sixth this year to equal out the picks. I'm fine with that. So, and this is the trade that I'm going to put through. Now, I'm going to give them Deebo. Again, I don't want to do this trade, but if they offer 1038, a third rounder next year, that's what John Chapman is saying. All right, we could do this trade. That's what I want. And again, if we got to add more 49ers fourth or sixth round picks to it to equal out the numbers, I'm totally cool with that. So I'm going to click force this trade because again, like you can see here, Pro Football Focus says this trade will not be accepted. Nothing. There's not even nothing on there. But I'm going to force this trade to go through anyway. Force this trade. Very good. They accepted it. They had no choice. All right. Now let's start this draft. So again, to summarize, we got the 10th pick, the number 38 pick, and then we got a third rounder next year for Deebo, and we gave up a fourth rounder next year, just a little extra. So let's start this draft, and let's see what happens when we get to pick 10. Now, you can kind of see who has gone and who has not. Aiden Stingley. Stingley going number 2. That's a strong possibility, by the way. I am a big fan of him. Kayvon Thibodeau, that sucks. That's one of the guys I want to drop. He's not going to, no matter what people say. Trayvon Walker, Evan Neal, Trent McDuffie. So here we are. The 49ers are on the clock with pick number 10, and they have a lot of options with one trade request. We'll get to that in a second. Kyle Hamilton, I do not value the safety position near enough to take a safety at pick 10. I do like Kyle Hamilton, but I'm staying away from that. He's a back into the first. Like, I understand the playmaking ability and things. I just don't value, and I don't think the 49ers do either. Jamison Williams, my number one wide receiver. And so I would love this pick personally. But again, if our entire narrative is, well, what's going to help Trey Lance be successful? Jamison's not playing until November. So you lost Lakin. Who knows what's up with Alex Mack? Who knows what's up with, Mike McGlinchey? Now you trade Deebo, and you're going to draft a wide receiver in the top 10 that might not be ready for November. I mean, again, you're just kind of setting Trey up for a very rough situation inside. But I would not be upset with Jamison Williams. He is by far my number one wide receiver, number 5 on my big board. Drake London, he's incredible. Obvious Garrett Wilson, and you can kind of see that's this draft. There's a whole bunch of guys in this pool. There's not a lot of elite guys. And, you can keep Chris Olave's there, Booth's there, Zion Johnson, interior O-line. And, I mean, you can keep going down. Jermaine Johnson, which they're really, really low on, I have him as a top 10 player. I would love that. So, if I'm looking at this and let's just play the whole, okay, John Chapman, you cannot trade down. You have to pick this pick. I'm going Jamison Williams. That's probably what I would do. There are some asterisks there with his injury for sure. Waited until November, but top end, holy freaking cow. I absolutely adore this guy. He is incredible. I would have him right behind Jamar Chase as far as like who my best wide receivers are the past 2 drafts. I think Chase is a whole nother level ahead of him. Different type of players, though. They're not even close to the same style of players, even though I think their height and weight are similar. They're the same. So let's check out this trade, because here's the issue. There's not a lot of teams that want to trade up. If you can find somebody to trade down, but in this draft class, I'm telling you right now, teams are trying to trade down, not up. So we got lucky here, and the Vikings want to trade up, and I am 1,000% going to take this trade. I don't give a damn what we get. You can't get their second. We can get their third. So, and this, I think, is exactly what the 49ers would want to do as well. So I'm going to, we're going to put this through. It looks like they're going to accept it. 78% chance of acceptance. So the Vikings are going to jump up 2 picks from 12 to 10. We're going to pick up the 77th overall pick. Okay. So that's important to me because we're going to use that to kind of finagle around. And so let's offer this trade. Let's see if it goes through. Boom. It accepted it. Let's see who they took. They took Jamison Williams. So they popped up and took our guy. We had our first quarterback go number 11 to the Commanders. I doubt that it happened, but it would be smart if they did that. Carson definitely isn't the guy. Now we've got a bunch more trade offers, but I don't want to get too crazy with this. I want to keep this to be a little bit more realistic than other, mocks out there. I saw this from Sid, which this is one of the things I'm watching too. Who did the Panthers take? Panthers took a tackle, Charles Cross, which is a major need for them. And if the Panthers do take a tackle, I'm going to celebrate like a crazy person because that's going to increase the chances of a Jimmy G trade to them at a very, very high rate. So that's great news as well. Good looking out, Sin, man. She knows what she's talking about. Now, I'm not going to trade back again. I understand that is a possibility, but I don't think it's that much of a reality. I want to give as close to a realistic option as possible. So essentially what happened with the Deebo Samuel, we got the first, we got the second, a third next year, and now we just got another third this year. Getting a myriad of picks, as many dart throws as possible, but we still have this premium draft spot. And again, if I'm looking at who to take, if I'm going wide receiver, Garrett Wilson or Treylon Burks would be at the top of my list 100%. If I'm going defensive playmaker, just overall board, Jermaine Johnson would be my pick. None of those are wrong choices, and it's crazy to even be in this situation. Trevor Penning, really, really high on him, but I'm going to say no there. You got Kenyon Green, one of the best guards. I mean, you could see the difference whenever you're picking. Again, Treylon Burks, they have at 46, which is crazy to me. I understand Pro Football Focus, the metrics people don't like it, but you turn on that film, holy freaking cow, Treylon Burks is unreal. So, going back to this whole narrative of making Trey Lance comfortable, if I am taking out Deebo and Lakin and all those things, I got to give them something. So with the 12th pick in this trade with the Jets, then we traded back to 12. I'm taking Garrett Wilson. He is a very, very clean prospect, does everything very, very well, and he's going to plug in, and I'm going to be pumped about this. Now, as this goes on, I'm going to pause the draft after a couple picks here. I want to see what's going on here. Kyle Hamilton went, Karlaftis, Drake London, Jordan Davis, Booth, Dean, Olave's gone, Wyatt's gone. Man, I cannot believe that, golly, he's still there. Jefferson. Jermaine Johnson. There he went number 23. Tyler Linderbaum's gone. And so now where I'm sitting at, I'm just like, man, we got this extra third. You know what? I'm just going to let the draft come to me. And here we go. We're back on the clock at pick 38. This is that second premium pick that we got from the Jets. And goodness, we're going to have some players on the clock here. Travis Jones, incredible defensive tackle. I don't think that's it. I love George Pickens, Jalen Petrie, Nick Bonito, speed edge rusher, Jaquan Brisker. These are the things that you have to start doing whenever you're talking about this trade. Because it's not just Deebo for, in our case, Garrett Wilson. No. You're taking as many dart throws as possible. Jaquan Brisker is a starter in this league that I think could find his way into the first round very easily. Drake Jackson. There are a lot. David Ojabo. Okay. Yeah. Again, another guy that I had as a top 10 pick in this class, tore his Achilles at his pro day. And I get all the people are like, no injured players. Ojabo is a difference maker that is his career trajectory is through the roof. Relatively new at the position of football. He is incredible. Troy Anderson, 49ers met with him. Linebacker, Montana State. Johan Dotson. Why are they so low on this guy? That's a first-round wide receiver with the best hands in the class. Kyler Gordon. Whew. Man, there's some talent right here. There is some crazy talent right here. Dylan Parham. All right, so off the top of my head, what I'm thinking I want to do is I'm looking at this edge position. Ojabo is screaming at me. I'm curious what other edge players are available right here. And again, if you guys want to check out kind of what my big board looks like, head over to Patreon, the draft book, my draft companion that I put out there with a lot of help from other people. Let me just say that is available. Any Patreon subscriber, you get immediate access to everything I've ever done. That is up for there. And again, it's just support the podcast. Type in 49ers Patreon on Google. It pulls up immediately. And again, we have 3 tiers: friend of the show, Frank Gore, and Jerry Rice tier. And as soon as you join, you get my entire draft companion, no extra charge. That's just a way to say thank you. And that's what's out there. And then also, hey, I forgot about this. Tonight, baby, we got our Zoom hangout, our Jerry Rice tier Zoom meeting only. We jump on Zoom and we talk all things Deebo. We're going to talk some mock draft crushes. One of my favorite times of the entire month. We do this every month. So that's tonight at 4:30 p.m. We're recording this Sunday. So if you want to jump on that, come check it out. Sign up for the Jerry Rice tier. Come to the very first Zoom meeting. All the instructions are on there. And if you don't like it, guess what? 100% money back guarantee. You know what? Not my thing. No questions asked. But try to support the show. Come out. It's going to be a great time. And we're going to get into it. I love the 49ers Brain Trust. They are incredible. So head over there. If you get draft contents there, all that's there. As soon as you sign up, you get access to everything. So check that out. Now let's jump back to let's go back to this draft and let's figure a couple things out. Part of me, let's see what trades are available. Now, we're picking 38. If you look at the teams that are available that want to trade, we have the Saints at 49, Broncos 64, Giants 67. I don't know if I want to drop back 11 spots. Could we get a stud there? For sure. I don't like it. I feel like we have a lot of picks. We've got 38, 61. We added 77. We've got a lot of picks. So I'm over here just thinking inside my head, I want playmakers. I want guys that could become blue chip, all pro type players. I want to swing for the fence. That's what I want. So talking out loud, Jaquan Brisker's on there. He's definitely in consideration. Ojabo, premium position. You're not going to get another guy like this that falls in the draft. It just does not exist. And Johan Dotson, and that's 3 studs. Kyler Gordon's there. You know what? I'm talking myself out of it. I'm going to do this trade, and I'm going to try to jump back up. I want to try to get 2 of these cats. That's my plan. So I'm going to offer 38. We can get some draft picks right here. 49 and 98. Yeah, I'm going to throw that in there too. So we're going to get the Saints 49th pick. We're going to get the Saints 98th pick, which is a comp pick for them, and 161 just for 38. 91% chance to be accepted. I don't want to throw 120 in there just because I don't think that's a thing. I'm going to, and this is exactly what the Saints do every year, by the way. I'm going to offer this trade. We're going to possibly, I'm going to watch this clock because we're up at 10. I'm going to slow it down. Let's slow this speed down just a little bit. Here we go. Let's resume the draft, and I'm ready to pause it. They traded up for George Pickens. All right. So here we go. Pickens, Ojabo, and Gordon already went. I want to get 2 of these guys. So, man, do I want to trade up right now? I want Johan Dotson. He's on there for me big time, and Jacoby Brisker. So I'm waiting for Dotson or Brisker to go, then I'm trading up. So here we go. There's Sam Howell, not our guy. Travis Jones, not our guy. Petrie, not our guy. I like Petrie. Johan Dotson just went. So here we are. We're picking 5. I'm ready to jump up. I want to go get Brisker. So I want to trade up right here. Okay, I'm going to use some of that draft capital that we have gotten to go up and get our guy. And it's not going to take that much. I think they want to trade back. That's kind of the way. Wow. Man, they're willing to come back for almost anything. I'm going to give this 187 because I think that's a little more realistic. We're going to jump up 4 spots and give pick 187 to the Baltimore Ravens. And again, one of the things Pro Football Focus, I want to give them credit. They do a pretty good job at kind of showing what it is the teams traditionally do. Ravens trade back, Saints trade up. They've done a good job. So here we go. We traded back up. Now we're on the clock at pick 45. I'm going Jaquan Brisker. That's an important pick for me. I'm taking it right there, and I'm not even a little bit upset. I feel very, very confident about this. And, if we look at what we've gotten, our draft haul so far, Garrett Wilson, absolutely incredible, right? Then we fell back because we didn't get what we wanted. We got Jaquan Brisker. So Brisker and Garrett Wilson, and now we're back with our pick 61. Got a stud linebacker. Jalen Tolbert's still there. Are you kidding me? Man, Dylan Parham's still there. Gosh, man, I cannot get through a draft without taking Dylan Parham. I just love that kid. He is just too damn good. There's a lot of talent still available. Going back to the top, man, right off the bat, Jalen Tolbert just seems like such a stud wide receiver. I'm going to do it, and I'm going heavy wide receiver. I know that we got Garrett Wilson, but I'm taking Jalen Tolbert, getting Trey as many targets as possible. Let's pick hold on. Let's pause. Let's see here who just went. Because if I could jump up, because we're not picking for a minute here, I want to trade up. What will it take for me? We've got pick 77, but I want to jump up, and I want to get my man Dylan Parham. So I'm going to offer 77 and 161. I know we're bouncing around a lot. Oh, they turned me down. They said no. Did my guy go? He did not. Let's see if the Jets want to trade. We're going to trade back with the Jets. Pick 69, 77. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do 161. Yeah, here we go. We're going to jump up about 8 spots. I'm going to offer this trade. Man, they said no. They turned me down too. Nobody wants to trade with us, guys. Let's resume the draft. All right, let's try freaking Jags. Well, they let us jump up. Why is nobody letting us jump up? What's going on here? I'm trying to jump up 7 spots, offer trade. There we go. We got on. And I traded in to get my center of the future, Dylan Parham, which I am totally cool with. I'm taking that draft pick. Now I'm going to let this just go. Let's see if it will go. There we go. Let's speed it up a little bit. So, man, we've got a huge haul. Now we're on the clock at 93. We've got 2 wide receivers. We got Jaquan Brisker. We got a guard. We still don't have an edge. Marcus Jones is sitting there. Kellen Deesh. Oh, there's an edge right there, baby. There is an edge right there. Man, we might have hit gold in this draft. All right. So if we sit here and we look at this, my edge rankings, I love D'Angelo Malone. much more so than Dominique Robinson, even though I like them both. I like Majai Sanders as well. But D'Angelo Malone, I am a huge fan of. Now, the question is, would you prefer to have D'Angelo Malone, or do you want to go corner and get you a stud like Marcus Jones that could just come in and play center right away? I do like Cordell Float. He's fun. We're picking at 105. I think that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to hold off on Marcus Jones and Cordell Float, and whichever one goes, then I'm going to trade up. So with this pick, I'm telling you right now, I'm going edge, guys. I can't help it. I just can't help it. Let's scroll down. Let's find our stud here. Did I pass him? I might have passed him. Here, I'll just go to edge. Oh, there we go. So D'Angelo Malone, edge, speed guy, freak traits off the edge. We addressed that. I got to slow this down just so as this draft goes, we don't lose him. So I'm getting my edge player. Now I'm watching. Oh, James Cook went. That burns my soul. I'm watching for Cordell Float or Marcus Jones to go off the board. And okay, there's Marcus Jones. Man, we pick next. We're at 98. I'm just gonna let it ride. No Cordell Float. All right. Oh, we got it. That was I was sweating a little bit. I always sweat. That's just the way it goes. I'm gonna take Cordell Float, cornerback out of LSU, who I think can kind of play all over the place. Even though he's 6'1", he's a great slot corner. So I love that pick. I'm going to take that right there. So let's go back and let's just recap this as we're going through. Garrett Wilson at 12 after we traded back. Love that pick. Then we've got Jaquan Brisker that we traded back and then back up, right? Making sure we got one of those studs. I really wanted Johan Dotson there, but that's okay. And I'm not mad because we got Jalen Tolbert, the wide receiver out of South Alabama, next. So Deebo's gone in this scenario. We bring in Garrett Wilson and Jalen Tolbert, double dipping at the position to get that depth. I ain't even mad. Then we got Dylan Parham we traded up for, our guard center combo that, again, I really like his upside. Really, really like his upside. Then we got D'Angelo Malone, our high-end edge guy who the 49ers have met with. Traded back up to get Cordell Float. I wanted Marcus Jones. Maybe the 49ers would have jumped up just to go get him, but Cordell Float's great. And now we're on the clock at pick 105. And we've addressed so many issues, right? We got two wide receivers, a safety, an edge, interior line, corner. This is what the trade could do for the 49ers. I would rather have Deebo, I want to be honest. But there still are some great players that Luke Fortner's there. That would have been a really nice pick if we didn't already go inside. Tyson Anderson, again, Jeremy, there's so many stud guys. Majai Sanders is still there. Do we double dip at the edge position even though we got so many guys already? That's a rough one. And so now you're sitting here and you're just like, man, we're loaded. Oh, I like Neil Farrell Jr. He's a fun guy, 6'4", kind of clog the middle type of a guy. We got our safety. We've got our corner. So if we're looking at these positions, we got two wide receivers. We got our interior guy. What about an offensive tackle? Man, Kellen Diesch. Why not? Right? A perfect prototypical tackle that is going to be able to step in right away and help out if things go bad with Mike McGlinchey, which hopefully they won't. Hopefully they get better. But again, we're just trying to plug as many holes with as many dart throws as possible. And now you're sitting here at pick 134. We've still got 134, 172, 220. I mean, we still got 5 picks. Dominic Robinson's still sitting there? Yeah, I'm taking him. Let's just go value at this point. And we're going to see who pans out. And you can just kind of see the plethora of picks that you can get with this. It's a lot. It is a whole lot. Now, before we continue with this mock draft, real quick, just want to throw this. Join us live for the draft, baby. All right, the NFL draft is so close, baby. I'm so excited. And obviously, we're throwing the amazing downtown party in Las Vegas on the Strip with Fred Warner, Elijah Mitchell. And if you haven't got your tickets, go do that, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. But if you can't, and for some reason you can't make it to Vegas, guess what? We're bringing it to you. We're going to bring you the best day 1 and day 2 NFL coverage. We're going to have Fred Warner and Elijah Mitchell live on air during the NFL draft. And, again, if you're coming to the party and you got your tickets, you're going to get to meet and hang out with them. If not, you still have that opportunity because they're going to be live on air on this channel. So hit subscribe. Make sure you watch the draft with us days 1 and 2. And actually, if you have a question, you want to know what it's like for them to go through their draft process, you have questions about the NFL, the 49ers team this year, go ahead and submit those to me through email, 49ersrushpodcast@gmail.com. We'll sift through those, and we'll ask both Fred Warner and Elijah Mitchell a lot of your leading questions live on air during the draft. So make sure you tune in. Hit that subscribe button. Join us for days 1 and day 2. 49ers-centric coverage with over 7 49ers content creators and 2 49ers live from the NFL draft. We've got you covered here on the 49ers Rush podcast. So go ahead and hit subscribe and join us days 1 and day 2 of the NFL draft. All right, so we're back on the clock, 172. We've got 4 picks, and it's just load up. You know, a lot of people always talk about, oh, go best player available. The 49ers don't do that until you get into day 3 of the draft. Then they go best player available. It doesn't matter if they drafted those positions. Look at Elijah Mitchell, even though they traded up for running back earlier. They drafted, Jalen Moore, even though they drafted offensive line earlier. Like they drafted Diamondor Lenore, even though they drafted corner. That's just last year specific. Once they get here, they just basically say, screw it. You go get whoever stands out. The 49ers have met with Brian Robinson Jr. He's a bigger running back. I so much prefer Ty Chandler, running back out of North Carolina. He's a speed burner guy, and I think that's what the 49ers need. I know Elijah Mitchell has speed, but the big playability, busting the 30, 40-plus yard runs, it just hasn't been what he has brought to the table. Try to go get somebody that brings that speed. Ooh, Zaquandre White. Like this guy a lot. You kind of look at a scat back type of a guy. Says Pro Football Focus. He's fun. Let's see here. What else? I like Noah Ellis. I keep getting him in. Ooh, Leon O'Neal. The 49ers have met with a few times. I know we got Jacoby Brisker. I don't care. I'm taking this guy. Worst case, Leon O'Neal will be a great special teams player. And we're picking again. Just going after these guys that I think the 49ers would like. Jack Sanborn. Wisconsin linebacker, a lot of fun, 6'2". He has all the metrics that we would like. We haven't addressed the linebacker position. Let's draft him, develop him. Man, this is you could write a book about this draft now because we got so many damn players and we bounced all up and down the board. I want you guys to throw into the chat. Let me know how you feel this is going so far. In your opinion, does this make you feel better about the possibility of a Deebo trade or worse, or are you still the same? So better, worse, or same, throw this in there, kind of what you think. Again, I don't want to trade Deebo. I really, really don't. I'm seeing Rambo says trash. I'm seeing an awesome draft. I love this. It's such an awesome logo. Rambo says trash. We got, love this. Sergio says awesome draft. I love this. I mean, there's so much here. You feel worse about it. Yeah, there's a lot to take away. Jeff says he feels worse. Yeah, we remember Chris Borland. All right, so let's pick one more player. Let's see here. Let's go defensive interior, CJ Wright. Let's finish it off there with Mr. Irrelevant. And so let's look real quick and just see kind of, I don't care what Pro Football Focus says, but this would give us a relatively good picture of the entire draft itself. We traded Deebo in a 4th next year for the 10th, 38th, and 3rd round next year. Then we fell back from 10 to 12, picked up another 3rd, and we got Garrett Wilson. I love that trade back. I don't know if we would be able to get that, but Garrett Wilson comes in at pick 12. Then we trade back again from 45 to 49, right? We got Jacoby Brisker. We jumped up to get Jacoby Brisker. Jalen Tolbert fell to us. Dylan Parham, D'Angelo Malone, Cordell Float in the slot, Kellen Deesh, tackle, developmental guy. Dominique Robinson, I don't know how he was there in the 4th round. Niners have met with him as well. So you get Malone and Robinson, 2 different edge guys that have completely different skill sets, but both kind of small school guys that you're hoping for upside. Malone, super fast. Robinson, more of an all-around defensive end. Ty Chandler, speed guy. Leon O'Neal. This is a good draft. We got a B+ grade. But, it kind of goes back to this, Deebo Samuel. And I'll be as honest with everybody as I hope I always am. I would prefer to keep Deebo over this, even though we got a lot. West Coast, he says, why is no one talking about Treylon Burks? He's my number 2 wide receiver. Yeah, I would have no problem taking him in this situation at all. I love Traylon Burks. Is he like Deebo? No, but yards after the catch, he's got it all in spades. I think Garrett Wilson's probably going to be higher on a lot of people's boards, maybe not Kyle Shanahan's. Yeah, and here we go. Burks is good, but needs to work on routes. Stop me if we've heard that one before, right? There, that's not a new thing. He's just a beast. You got to get the ball into his hands. Huge, huge. So I don't know. I think that this has done a good job of just kind of showing us what's out there and what this looks like, because these are the same conversations that the 49ers are having, because they don't have to trade Deebo. They don't have to trade Deebo because, again, you still have him for a rookie deal. He's not allowed to sit out because his season will not accrue. So he'd be in the exact same situation next year if he wants to go full Le'Veon Bell. And even though he gets $4 million this year, 49ers could offer him 2020, jump from 4 to 22. If he really wants out, he could say, hey, take whatever you can. And these are the conversations. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan. Okay, if we do have to trade Deebo, what can we get? And if we do, what's that going to look like come draft time? All I can tell you is this. This might be one of the most entertaining drafts in the history of the 49ers for a long time. And we don't even have a first-round pick currently. But that could change any stinking moment. This is fun, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm going to do a couple more of these and get these loaded throughout the next couple days with different teams. See what it would look like if we trade them to the Lions, the Eagles, things like that. And again, just try to kind of see these for where you would prefer if we did have to trade Deebo, which is a big if. I don't think we do. But thank you guys. Appreciate all the support, man. Join us tonight. Go over to Patreon, guys. Head over there. 49ers Patreon. Google it. Sign up. Come join us tonight. Let's talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to argue a little bit. It's a lot of fun. 4:30 tonight. We're going to be live on there. So appreciate it. And as always, stay strong, faithful.